Welcome to This Explainer, where we're diving into what might just be the ultimate historical paradox. Today, we're exploring how a ruler who built his entire throne on a mountain of blood somehow became ancient India's greatest advocate for nonviolence. It's a story that completely defies everything we expect from ancient history, so let's just jump right in. Here is the central mystery we are going to unravel today. We're tracing a narrative of extreme, calculated violence that suddenly shatters into a profound, almost unbelievable spiritual awakening. I mean, how exactly does a man responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people completely flip his entire worldview? It's essentially a tale of two different men. On one hand, you have the ruthless Chandashoka, which literally translates to Ashoka the Cruel. This is a guy who ruled entirely by fear, even maintaining these horrifying torture chambers. But then you compare that to his radical transformation into Dharmashoka, Ashoka the Righteous. Here we see a ruler defined by sheer compassion, offering free medical care and protecting religious diversity. It is honestly like looking at two completely different human beings. Section 1. The Blood-Stained Throne. Ashoka's rise to absolute power was, well, swift and extremely violent. The Mauryan Empire was already an absolute juggernaut, founded by his grandfather, Chandragupta, and expanded by his father, Bindusara. But when his father died in 272 BCE, Ashoka wasn't actually the chosen heir. His mother was a commoner, and he had a stepbrother who was destined for the throne. But Ashoka was incredibly calculating. Instead of just stepping aside, he triggered a brutal 4-year civil war to seize absolute control. Which brings us to a frankly staggering number, 99. Ancient Buddhist texts and historical sources tell us that Ashoka systematically eliminated 99 of his stepbrothers just to secure his crown. He only spared one. The sources even mention he employed a royal executioner named Girika to run those horrifying torture facilities we talked about. He essentially built a throne resting on the bones of his own family, crushing any rival with cold, mechanical efficiency. Section 2. The Carnage of Kalinga.
So Ashoka did not hold back. By 262 BCE, the independent coastal kingdom of Kalinga was the only regional power refusing to bow to Mauryan authority. And to crush their independence, Ashoka unleashed the greatest military machine the ancient world had ever seen. We are talking about 600,000 infantry, 30,000 cavalry, and a terrifying force of 900 war elephants. This was an invasion designed for total, unmitigated annihilation.
The Kalingans fought back with desperate courage, but the aftermath was absolutely horrifying. 100,000 people were slaughtered right there on the battlefield. Another 150,000 were deported from their homes, leading to untold suffering from famine and disease. Now, for a ruler accustomed to victory, this should have been the ultimate triumph. But when Ashoka actually walked those blood-soaked fields among the dead, he didn't feel triumphant at all. He just felt broken.
Section 3. A revolution in stone.
What's crazy is that for over 1,000 years, Ashoka was entirely forgotten by history. His empire collapsed and his physical legacy was swallowed by the jungle. It wasn't until 1837 that a British antiquarian named James Prinsep cracked an ancient forgotten script known as Brahmi. He kept finding this specific title carved into giant stone pillars all across India. Devatam Priya Priyadarsi, meaning beloved of the gods, he who looks with affection. And when Prinsep finally translated these texts, he didn't find the usual arrogant boasts of a conqueror. He found intimate, deeply personal letters from a king directly to his people. This absolute, unchallenged monarch did something entirely unprecedented in human history. He publicly carved his guilt, his apologies, and his spiritual awakening into permanent stone for all his subjects to read. Driven by profound remorse over Kalinga, Ashoka turned to the teachings of Buddhism, fully embracing the idea that true conquest isn't achieved through violence, but through righteousness and compassion.
Section 4. A compassionate empire.
So instead of expanding through military conquest, Ashoka completely revolutionized his administration. He rolled out radical policies that were centuries, even millennia ahead of their time. I mean, he built the world's first state-sponsored hospitals, and not just for humans, but veterinary hospitals for animals too. He planted shade trees and dug wells along major trade routes to protect travelers. He severely restricted the death penalty and ordered fair trade regulations. This was a massive top-down restructuring of what a government was even supposed to do. Of course, to enforce these new ideals, he needed a new kind of official. Ashoka actually completely repurposed his grandfather's dreaded, terrifying spy network. He replaced them with a brand new class of official, the Dharma Mahamatras, or ministers of moral law. Their entire job was to travel the empire, ensuring compassionate governance, protecting the vulnerable, making sure prisoners were treated fairly, and rooting out corruption. He literally institutionalized morality.
And this might be one of the most stunning things he did. His 12th Rock Edict represents the world's first constitutional guarantee of religious freedom. Think about that. In an era where kings routinely forced their beliefs onto conquered peoples, Ashoka actively protected Hindus, Jains, Ajivakas, and Buddhists alike. He funded their temples and encouraged interfaith dialogue, realizing that diversity was actually a strength, not a threat to his power.
Section 5. The Enduring Global Legacy.
Ashoka didn't just want peace within his own borders. He wanted to share this enlightenment with the rest of the world. But instead of sending armies to conquer, he sent peaceful envoys. He even sent his own children, Prince Mahendra and Princess Sangamitra, to Sri Lanka. He sent carefully chosen ambassadors to the Hellenistic kingdoms of Greece, Egypt, and Syria, with texts translated into Greek. By spreading the teachings of Buddhism voluntarily, without ever forcing political subjugation, he actually helped establish it as a major world religion. Now let's look at how this legacy echoed through time. After Ashoka died in 232 BCE, his empire only lasted about another 50 years before completely crumbling. The language was lost, the jungle took over, but upon his rediscovery in 1837, his message resonated instantly. His legacy was so powerful, in fact, that it fueled the modern Indian independence movement in the 20th century. Leaders like Gandhi looked straight to Ashoka as the ultimate proof that a massive Indian state could be ruled by nonviolence and tolerance.
The famous author H.G. Wells perfectly captured the sheer magnitude of this legacy. He wrote that amidst tens of thousands of monarchs, the name of Ashoka shines almost alone like a star. And it's so true.